I'm thinking French cleat on that wall. Stick around and I'll show you how I did it. Putting together my two benches. I just used two clamps, one on each side. I can roll them around together. It's pretty nice. I'm going to use my track saw to cut 7-inch strips from full sheet of plywood. This is some AC plywood I picked up at Home Depot. Track saw makes pretty short work of the 7-inch strips, so I went ahead and cut them off with the track saw. Setting for 45 degrees, I'm going to cut this 7-inch in half. I was off a little bit, so you'll see here in a minute I cut the tips off of all of them, and then I cut them all to the same size. I sanded these down to about 240. Applied some real tough scuff defense paint from Behr. And I love this Franklin sensor. Makes finding the studs easy. Use it a level to mark it. Know where the studs are when I put these cleats up. I'm going to make 4-inch spacers. I thought of this, I should have cut them out when I had the blade at 45 before, but 4-inch spacers, that way all of them can be uniform. The first one is actually the hardest. Once you get it up and level, the others will go pretty fast. Found out to actually cut these down a little more, the spacers. Really don't need them that big. Just something to support it until you get the screws in. Just made sure everything was flush on the right side. Maybe do a pull-up? Nah, it's too sharp. Otherwise, I'd crank out a few. Did the same thing with the second sheet of plywood. Extended my wall from 8 foot to 16 foot. First one's always the hardest. Use spacers, and before you know it, you're done. So part one of getting the French cleat on the wall turned out pretty well. Part two, I'll show you how I built this 2-holder, and I'll get busy on making more, because this thing looks pretty bare on the wall by itself. Stick around and I'll show you how I did those.